Matt here from ALLTHINGSARB. Got another review for you. It's the Edelrid Talon Climbing Spikes. Let's take a first look.
I can't seem to look away. I'm hanging on the words you say.
First impression of the spikes is that they're absolutely massive. This padding section here is just the biggest I've ever seen on any set of climbing spurs or climbing spikes. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. I think the actual padding itself is more than adequate. You can easily peel it off like that, and you can see there that it's really thick. You know that's going to be super comfortable. It's got a little right and left tag on each of the legs, so you can see the which leg you're putting it on. That also reveals the actual adjustment points. Pad goes in really easy. You just line that up, let go in. It's in. This plastic section that goes around the top of your leg is the only part of the actual spur that I've got a bit of concern about at the moment before I actually get it on my leg. Is that it's made of plastic, and I just think the size of it, it might break, it might get squashed, but putting some force on it there, it seems pretty strong. The shape going round your foot and around the side of your leg is really nice. The spur, the actual gaff itself sits quite high up, so you can see there when you're walking, I don't think that's going to foul on the floor. The straps itself all Velcro, and there's a little tag on each of them that says a minimum overlap, which again is a really nice feature, and for someone like me who's never climbed on Velcro spikes before, it gives me that a bit more added security mentally, that I know that I'm putting it on far enough, and I'm not just putting a little bit on and think that's gonna stay on. The buckles at the bottom, they seem really strong as well, and this is quite solid material here. So it's got a really nice feel to it, and a couple of adjustment points there, so you can make that a little bit taller to up your leg. So there's 3 adjustment points there. There's also 3 adjustment points on the top where the actual Velcro comes out, so you can get that a lot more snug there as well. The spikes come with this little booklet, like the instruction manual, and that's really important. You need to make sure you read that when you get it, and you can learn a lot from that, how to set the spikes up to your legs and make sure that they're safe and that they're super comfortable as well. There's lots of adjustment on these, more than I've seen on any of the traditional spikes. I found that once I had the spikes set up, that I only had to take off 3 of the 4 straps. The one at the rear of the foot you could leave on once it was set, and to get the spikes on and off, you just had to take the 2 off your leg, at the top of your leg, and the one around the front of your foot. Once I tried the spikes on and I had them set up properly, they were really comfy. You didn't even notice that they were even on your legs. They did take a while to set up, but it weren't like an hour long thing. It was just that you want to spend a little bit of time making sure that they are set up properly, as with any spikes. They're not really one that you can just chuck on, and if you're sharing them amongst the team, a set of spikes are probably not ideal for that, because of the configuration of the straps. It can be quite time consuming just to get them set up right. The only worry that I had when I first got the spikes, when I first looked at them, was the plastic construction that goes around your calf, around the top of your leg. I thought that it wouldn't be strong enough, and that it would just break, being thrown in and out the van and just being used on site day to day. I was wrong. After using it for like 5 or 6 weeks, they are super strong, and I've abused these spikes. I really have used them as I would day to day. One thing that was said to me when I first started tree work is that if you buy a set of spikes, they're going to cost you quite a bit of money, and you're going to have to invest in them. So if I'm going to buy a set of spikes myself, I want to know that they're going to last me a career or a good number of years, and I know now from using these for 6 weeks or so that these will last. As well as the manual, you get this little plastic tool. You can use this to check the areas of the spikes to see if they're worn and change if needed. gaff seemed to fit a little bit further around on your foot, which did take a little bit getting used to. I still gaff out every now and then when I've been using them, but again I think it'll be something that just comes with time and using them. To summarise, these are lightweight steel construction spikes, lots of adjustability, really comfortable, and you can pick them up in the UK at the moment for around £300, which for me I think is a reasonable price to pay for a good quality set of spikes. Edelrid have really put some thought into these Talon spikes. They're not the most traditional looking, but I'd certainly recommend giving them a go.